Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today's build and play guide is on Venezia. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that way wrong. That's okay. Anyway, guys, very interesting because we just did the Napoli video. I'm a big Italian cruiser fan. Now, these two Italian cruisers both have Italian cruiser traits, but they couldn't play more different than each other, right? Tanky, but doesn't have SAP. The ship, amazing SAP, not tanky. So it's interesting how different Napoli and Venetia are apart to me in some ways, in most ways, actually. So let's get started. We're using Azurlane Zara with Mimbelli and Arthas the Cold. Beyond range, Intrepida, fortified, fixated, along with fully packed. For modifications, aiming systems mod 1, propulsion mod 2, concealment is always in the third slot, and in the last slot, main battery mod 3. Now, the last slot is to take the SAP. You will up your reload, but you're a crazy person if you don't take Italian SAP in cruisers. It's just fantastic. I I know I'm biased towards Italian cruisers, like we talked about in the Napoli video. But I am 100%. I love SAP on cruisers. It just works out. You have three exhaust smokes, classic Italian exhaust smokes, and you could take defensive AA, but then you'd be the same crazy person that didn't take the SAP in the first place. So you do have forward catapult fighters, and with Arthas, these do raise your damage up, obviously, and repair parties. Now, you have three of them, and these heals aren't as good as Napoli's, right? So again, you're going to see some stark differences between here and Napoli. Outside of them having smokes, there's going to be some stark differences. Um, so for your specs, 52,000 health, so it doesn't have the same amount of health as Napoli. It's a lot less, right? So not as tanky. The heal, and you don't have as much for heal, so you got to be a little bit more careful, and it's more problematic than that, and we'll get to it in a second. However, the main guns on Venetia are much better because this is got Italian SAP, and it's fantastic. You have 15 203s from what I could find on the wiki, because I was not 100% sure, but what I could find is SAP 203s do can pin 54 millimeters of armor, which makes sense because that means you can shoot anything outside of armor belts. And on Italian, German, and Russian battleships, you got to worry about side plating and deck. Um, but outside of that, any other ship outside of them three battleship countries, you're going to be okay, and you can basically shoot anywhere but armor belt. Um, Also, SAP obviously just really good at in superstructure till it's saturated. One thing I didn't know when I originally started playing Italian cruisers, even though I was good at them, I didn't realize a lot of times you can pen bow and sterns, getting a ton of damage in bow and sterns until they get saturated. That's another good way to do it, and I would highly recommend that. I still forget to do that sometimes. That being said, you have three torpedoes per side, so I think that's one less than Napoli. Again, making this not as good up close like the other Italian cruisers, right? You don't have the necessarily have a ton of health. You don't have necessarily heals or even the same torps, right? So you have one less, three per side. It's not as fun. AA defense, not terrible, not great. Maneuverability, 36 knots, so it's quick, and it has a decent turning circle for how long this ship is. So this is a long, skinny ship. Turning circle radiuses in real life, that's what they're based off of, mostly. And this thing turns way quicker than it actually should, and its turning circle. Rudder is okay as well. Concealment still good, but it's not sneaky like Napoli. What is Napoli's? I believe I know we have a perk on it, 9-3. I think Napoli's base is like
As we start the
10-6,
match,
and I
it's
think
disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to
Venetia's
help
is like
people new to the ship or new to
11-6.
the
So
game. This is not
good, but
meant for
not
professional
not
gamers that
Italian
know
cruiser
everything
normal
there is
good,
to know
right?
about everything in the
Um,
universe. There
that
are
being
multiple
said,
ways to
here,
play and
guys,
build this ship,
uh,
and
like the
I am a
concealment's
above
decent.
average
And
player.
one
Not
thing
the
you
world's
should
best. I
mention
make
or note
mistakes. You may
here
see
is
one in this
7
match.
kilometer fire penalty smoke. So you
You
got to be a
didn't
little bit
come
careful
here
in that
for
as well.
pronunciations. I'm as good
Stats,
as
as you can
anybody
see,
at
it's an Italian
slaughtering
cruiser,
beautiful
guys. I do
languages
well in them.
all the
I always
time.
have. I don't get it. Me and the Italian cruisers get along really well. One thing I will note in this as well is I don't normally when you play on PlayStation, there isn't compared to Xbox. There's a lot less of the console only matches that have less players in them. Like a lot of the PlayStation cross-platform off matches are 9v9s. I run across for some reason, like in this ship, I had like 4 or 5 matches where it was 5, 6 players, or you know what I mean. So not you're not getting the full potential of what damage this thing can do, to be honest with you. I just haven't had the chance to really get that match to open it up. That being said, I still have a very good match to showcase to you guys, and then that's what I want to showcase. You can see I'm winning quite well. It's still good at getting rid of destroyers, guys. Is it as good and tanky as um Napoli or the other Italian cruisers? No, but it's SAP. If you hit a destroyer, this SAP will absolutely wreck destroyers, even if you hit them with a couple shells. Right? This is one of the easiest ships to get dev strikes on destroyers with. Um, now, that being said, you're not going to play nearly as aggressive with this as you are going to be Napoli, and because it's speed and kind of its ship traits, it's better. It actually is pretty good at the flank. So the kind of one thing to note, this one kind of doesn't play like the Italian cruisers. For me personally, I think a lot of people. Um, I play close and aggressive with Italian cruisers. Everybody else kind of plays them as flanky. This is a flankier ship, and I agree with that more on this ship. And part of the reason why is this, right? Okay, it's not a lot. Like, let's look at Napoli, right? You can be real aggressive in Napoli. You have armor. Venetia, well, you do have the similar bow and stern. It is longer, meaning it can actually, that 25 millimeter bow and stern, meaning battleships are going to overmatch you. Again, you have this armor plate. It's not as good as the 60 on Napoli, but 40 is still pretty good. It's not going to get overmatched. The bigger issue here is it's a little bit longer nose, and you have a much bigger citadel behind this, right? This is a raised citadel, unlike Napoli. So behind your bow and stern is this. There's a lot more to hit than Napoli. You you can get citadel through the front. That's not really the issue with that. The issue with that is how or long and wide this broadside is, right? And it creates a problem. Can you technically angle to some stuff? Yeah, because your armor belt is 40, and that is your armor belt, by the way. That isn't just torpedo protection, because that's your citadel behind it. All right, and that it is an actual issue because there's this ship is so long and broadsidey that when you get up close, it's so easy to citadel from range. So if you're in the center of the map charging in this thing, it's not very ideal because you don't have the armor that Napoli does or no most Italian cruisers do. And also from distance, this thing gets citadeled pretty easily. You have to be careful, right? And I can showcase here why that is. This is a absolute raised citadel, and there is nothing above it, basically, right? That's what's above it. Okay. Also, you don't have the turtleback that Napoli does, meaning up close it's gonna be rough. And I can assure you, when you have this much protection above your citadel, American battleships are gonna mess you up. This, as you can see, is Montana shooting at an angled Venezia. and it's a very good player in Aaron. He is even angled some to me, but it doesn't matter because you can't angle the plunging fire, guys. And sorry, Aaron, but that is a very good example of how you cannot angle to plunging fire and what you're going to be susceptible to in this ship, because you're going to run across a lot of American battleships, right? And it is a problem. So um, just remember that when you're in it. And like I said, and you have that side arm or your armor belt being 40 and your sidewall or side plate being 30, you're going to take a lot of HE pens. Now, I still play this more aggressively than probably what people should. As you can see, we're in a match with only 7 players, and there's only 2 battleships, so there's not a lot of damage to be had. So remember that when you guys see this match. However, you're going to still see me play it effective close in. It's a little tougher to do, and the reason I compare this ship to Napoli is they're both Italian heavy cruisers, and they couldn't be in a lot of ways more different from each other. And that's why I want to compare them, because I think a lot of people are going to think they're similar, and they're not, and not in my opinion anyway, right? They have some Italian traits that are nice, but they're outside of that, they're super not related. So we're going to go ahead and try to sneak in. I want to get rid of the destroyer. Like, if you get rid of a destroyer when you have SAP, it makes the match a whole lot easier, right? We're spotted. We pop our smoke. We're okay. You know, we just want to make sure we're going to accelerate to make sure that we're not going to get murdered by shells. And you can see we do get one hit for 600 on us, but outside of that, nothing too bad because we were able to smoke up right away. And you're going to see that what this SAP does to people when you just get unleashed. And you can see I'm going to have Arthas, and we're not going to actually be able to get much, I don't believe, on Alaska. He's going to see that coming, but there is a destroyer here. And this is going to be a showcase even with a terrible aim by me, because I couldn't tell if he was going to hit the island or not, or where he was going to land. I'm not going to aim very well, and you're going to see here that we are going to absolutely chunk him for 7,000 of his health off of just four shells, right? That is very good on it. You can see he doesn't have much health left, right? We did most of that. Now I take another terrible shot, but he knows better now, and he's going to move forward. But that's just to showcase how good the SAP is on that ship, and you got to be careful. Like, I'm looking at the map, trying to make sure I'm not in a world of hurt. There's a Alaska here, which can be very problematic. But you're going to see, even with him taking some shots already, we have Arthas up, and we get a huge chunk off of him, right? And we get very lucky that and Montana must use auto aim, got the rear of our ship, because we probably shouldn't have been alive there, right? And sometimes you do get lucky with the ship being so narrow, you do get overpinned sometimes, but I would not rely on it. Like, close up, sometimes you can get away with stuff you shouldn't normally be able to, right? Like, sometimes best armor is no armor up close. That does happen on the ship, but like I said, wouldn't rely on it. Again, you see every shell that hits me pins, right? Like, I'm angled, so it's not, it's not getting my citadel right now, but man, is it rough. And I'm trying to be very careful of that Montana at distance. And we have a full health Venezia here to square up against. And really, that's the only shot that comes in from my teammates, so it's me versus a Montana and a Venezia, right? So we got to do really well, and you can see a huge chunk, right, with that. If that had Arthas, that would have probably been half of his health in one salvo. Here we're going to go ahead and take another shot. He's actually going to go ahead and start going forward, but we're going to get a couple pins out, or one pin off the back, and you can see kind of know his game of trying to dodge now, so we're going to do our best to actually try to do that. And we're going to just stay angled here and do our best. As you can see, every shell that he hits is pinning. And we get a pretty nice little chunk there off of 7 shells and a couple defends. And that's kind of what you got to do with this, right? We're definitely angling or shooting in better areas than he is. He's aiming at my belt, which isn't a problem, but he's getting a lot of shells to hit the water and not actually hitting me. As you can see here, we throw our torps, and as he gets a pretty good chunk on me, we do hit him with a torp, and we are going to finish him off here with our shells. And you can see Montana's salvo landed behind us, and we have to be careful. This is one spot where I will get in trouble. We've seen how this battle with Montana plays out already earlier, obviously. So I don't have the health to be screwing around with Montana at range. And you're going to see exactly what I mean. We're going to get up close. We're going to try to take this cap big with our detection and get closer up to Montana before we start fighting. Why is that? Odds of us surviving are actually a little bit better, believe it or not, up close. So we know Montana's probably coming around the backside of the mountain, and we're going to be careful. You can see there he is right there. We're not going to shoot our guns yet because we're driving right at him. And you're going to see we're going to put our torps out where we think he's going to be. And again, really good torp angles on this ship. It's like one of the few things with exhaust smoke that it shares with Napoli. Outside of that, couldn't be much different. And you're going to see we guess where he's coming through. And it's a pretty good guess. Like I figured he would be turning straight in, thinking we were going to go for the cap. We get ready to turn out. He's going to shoot. You can see we're close enough, though, here that he just overpins us. And that's what I mean, is no armor is sometimes a little bit better than, you know, up close like that. And right now we realize we're in a world of hurt, and we're going to back off here a little bit. He definitely is going to, you know, like I said, we've seen how this match plays out with Montana and Venezia. There's no reason to go crazy. But I want to get a little bit more distance here to stay angled and get out. And obviously right now, we don't have to do much. Our team is winning. So even with only 2 battleships in the match, we've done a significant amount of damage. And here I'm trying to be smart, right? Actually, the smart thing to do here would be to drive away and not shoot my guns. But I'm pretty aggressive, and I do dumb stuff, okay? So we're going to throw torps out, trying to guess where he is. Again, my guess is going to be pretty good with the torps, right? They're just slow, and they take forever to get there. You can see we're going to take a shot and then start to make ourselves real narrow for Montana. 11 kilometers. You can see he's going to hit us. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to pen, but we didn't get citadel, right? So it wasn't plunging down into our above on our citadel, but we got to be careful because here we're going to have that same problem as we're going to get some more defense, but we're starting to get more out at range. And you're going to see, I notice this really quickly as he takes a shot. We're going to go ahead and shoot our rear guns. Again, hits us, but we're making ourselves kind of hard to hit here. And did not realize that he had these front set of guns ready. Thank gosh that he aimed, must have auto-aimed. He got to the rear of us and didn't citadel us. Now, I go dark here. There is absolutely no reason to shoot my guns again. But my daily dumb Dave moment, I'm thinking I 100%, as he's going behind the island, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good to shoot now. Right? He's behind the island. No, I'm an idiot. And I deserve what's coming towards me. There's only so many times you can get away with murder, but you can see we still put ourselves in a position to win. Really clearly helped our team win. Like I said, in a 7-player match, solid result. Ourselves also, we held off caps. We helped get rid of the destroyer. And as you can see here, 126,000 damage, but more importantly, top of leaderboard, almost a 3,000 base game, helping our team win. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you folks next time.